they need to give vacancies through through this employment exchange as per this act. So let us go to detailed discussion on this act. Then also we'll go to see how how this working. What is the present condition also, right? Initially it is 1950s. Now it is a lot of change happening in the environment. There are new acts are there, new regulations are there, new amendments are there. But 1959 to 2024, there are n number of changes happening in this exchange, employment exchange, how they functions, right? Like earlier days, we know district employment officer and state employment officer are there, and everyone those are qualified, the candidate, and approach this district officer. So they are registered our details. Then wherever the requirements are there, they will send our details. The industries are sending our letters. Are you interesting to join an organization? Like no, we have see there's so many so different kind of options are there previously. Now these also what we call now after the technology, after these changes, now the government is maintaining separate portal, separate what we call separate app to download these. Those are required the jobs, and also those required for employees, companies also management also registered both same portal. I will show you this recent Telangana government initiative on employment exchange. At the same time, how this government of India doing this Apprenticeship Act, all these, right? So as per this information, PBI, Price Information Bureau, Government of India, and these are working under the Ministry of Labor and Employment. As on 23rd July 2018, there were 997 employment exchanges are functioning in our country, right? And a district-wise one, and including some states, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. And the further they said notification for modernization of employment exchanges. At the same time, nation level, National Career Service project was also implemented to providing employment opportunities for the youth of no separate portals are there, employment exchange career centers are there. So like no, after this digitalization of the period, as the new government Modi got 2014 on board, they say that Skill India, and even present government also, Revant Reddy president say that the skill universities, and focusing on the employment opportunity, they how to exchange their opportunity. See the digital employment exchange. A digital employment exchange was launched uh, for the industries on 15th June 2015 under this MSME, Micro Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So this facility will enable industrial units to find a suitable manpower and seeks to find the suitable jobs. Right, so those companies are required the employees. They are asking, they will get the data. So we require these people. Those are suitable for our requirement. So then the student can apply it, based on the vacancies. So what will both are going for one uh, e-generated contract, then they will take this work, right? No, day by day, these government organizations equipment is going to the reducing. At the same time, the private sector is also growing a lot, and they require new kind of jobs and new skills required. Employees are required. What they can, they both meet together in a digital platform under this Ministry of Micro, Small, MSMEs, and thus conceptually similar to these traditional employment exchange, but they cater to mainly MSMEs. No, previously, few years back, we have seen that India is running more public sector units, PSUs, what we call. Like, no, these PSUs are called Maharatna companies, Navaratna companies, Miniratna companies. But later, these companies are privatized. FDI, no, the private sector, private people entered. No, we see this Vishaka Steel or more most of the organizations, right? They are uh, run by this private management, not these governments. And due to earlier days, no, these organizations are recruit the faculty, and these recruit these employees through these exchanges, through the apprenticeship. They can say apprenticeship, then apprenticeship completed, and they will provide opportunities. But nowadays, these public sector retail companies, what we call PSUs, right? ONGCs, Coal India, GAIL, BAIL, all these public sector takings are recruit these employees through these PSUs. Then they say that the few jobs are recruited through Staff Selection Commission, RRBs, like various constitutional bodies or advisory bodies. They are getting this employment. But the private sector, there is no common platform. But here, these government micro small enterprise, they're providing common platform for both employer and the employees both together to register their opportunities here. So employees, who is this, any person who is employing the establishment to do the work and for remuneration, employer who is providing the job, and exchange is intermediary between these two. A person to seek engagement, engage employees, a person who seeks employment, and vacancy which employee seeks employment may be appointed. So establishment is also clear mention. So establishment means any office or any place where an industry, trade, business, or occupation is carried on as per section 2, subsection 6. So, like na establishment public sector, like government department and government companies defined these are there. Apart from this, Companies Act 1956, now we have a new act, Companies 2000, Companies Act 13, right? These are establishments are there. So the what is the objective of this employment exchange compulsory notification of vacancies Act 1959? And the objective is to assess the employment potential in various categories of establishments. Like establishments are different kind of functions are there, like to say shoemaking company, pharma company, chemical company, paint industry, like when you see the sugar industry, cement industry, like various establishments are there. They have different kind of jobs that they require, the people, the trained people, right? Some require this other employment, no? They require trained people. Like in medical field, and a huge demand is medical coding nowadays, right? So, like not to provide apprenticeship to the labor market, and the scope is this act. This act is applicable to whole India except Jammu and Kashmir. The states also they can issue separate notification for applying this act. Right? These are the basic act, and see that they need over the establishment. They need to give the notification for vacancies. So, as per Section 4 of this Act, Employment Exchange Compulsory Notification Act, they need to give the notification uh, for this establishment in public sector, public in state or employment, every establishment, private sector or any establishment, they need to give the notification. And however, there is the obligation up to employees to recruit any person through the employment exchange to fill the vacancies. Even drastically, when your public sector companies are went to the private management. So these employment exchanges are not up to the mark. Why? Because the private sector growing rapidly increase and government sector is PSUs are reducing year to year. So these are some rights to assess this record or documents also there. So if any establishments are against this act, so they will be punished to without doing right. So power to make rule under section 10, the central government by notification of official gazette and subject to conditions to review the public rules and regulations are there. Now I will show you this our Telangana government exchange digital platform, how it function. I will show you this screen. Wait a minute. Right. No, this is see that Telangana government deed, right? So this is app is also there. So here this is a digital platform to connect these employment exchanges. Opportunities with us a deed district employment digital empowered exchange of Telangana, employment exchange of Telangana. So if any person want to get a job, they need to register in this platform, right? Either so leading companies of this fair, CSBA Card, Reliance Jio, LIC, JP Morgan, Byju's. So these companies, Genpact, Tata Steel, all the companies are tied up with a single platform. If any person registered, any people they require job, if they register here, and they will get the job. So roles and responsibility here. So anyone know this earlier? DEET, right? DEET. So this is Telangana government initiative. They give this training also. They give training. No, they encourage those students are want to job in Telangana. See the digital employment exchange. So this is the area of Telangana government initiative for creating job. Telangana's leading to job portal, get job search tailored or for you access your employment program and real time alert, join us and open door to endless careers. So like here, this is a platform. See employers and job seekers, even colleges also they can register under DEET and some organizations. Those these organizations registered in this DEET and they can get the job. See that September they will conduct a job fair in government degree college Siddipet and Kothegudem, right? So like they are conducting the job fair and they recruit the people, those companies are required the jobs. So like this digital platform to connect this employment exchange through the government supports. Any doubt here? Any doubts? Any doubt? Right. So this is the platform where people are required job. They can just registered and they can get they will provide job fairs and the people can find the jobs as per their requirement, as per their qualification. The student can select job. See that if they required the student required job in logistics and here they can find they need to register the data mobile phone through OTP and they can upload their details and definitely, if the company required, they send a message and you can attend the interview or you can send your documents to verify that you read. Like they conduct interviews for these employees. So this is one Telangana government employment exchange and digital platform. And now we move to one more topic in our syllabus, right? That is the Apprentice Act 1961, right? Apprentice Act. So after this employment exchange, and then the one more initiative of the government of India to start apprenticeship act to 1961 to provide employment opportunity and a person who is learning to a trade or skill employer they agree to work at a fixed period of a fixed period at a low wages, right? No, even our students also working on as apprenticeships in Starbucks or Reliant Trends or Netflix. So I will show you this app also. I will show you this platform. Right, the main purpose of the Apprenticeship Act of 1961 to provide a practical training to technical qualified persons in various fields. Like earlier, I told you this fashion technology, FMC, see that what we call beverages or pharma industry, like various trades, and the objectives is the promotion of new skill manpower, right? That is the reason government of India is also, no, always talked about. Pradhan Mantri Modi also says that skill India, young India, right? Skill portal. They started skill portal, right? The prime minister is always focusing on skill. So apprentice, no, government is also lost budget. They announced that to top 500 companies they can provide apprenticeship for the candidates apply that. So it is the government also giving the priority for new skill manpower. Scheme is also extend to engineering and non-engineering and also diploma holder. This scheme is applicable to engineering and non-engineering technology, any other vocational courses, the employees are required to pay minimum stipend to the apprentice. In some cases, the burden of part of stipend also government by government. Per candidate, each candidate will get 1,500 per month. The government is paying this amount. Even government is also last budget. They announced that top 500 companies for 5,000 students, they will give some amount. And so the definition is who is apprentice? Apprentice. So apprentice, the mean a person who is undergoing apprenticeship training, pursue contract. So here there is a difference between apprenticeship and internship. So internship is not a legal contract, but apprenticeship is a contract. Internship is not a contract, but it is a contract as per Act Section 2, subsection AE. So it's legally binded these organizations to provide this training to these students. Apprenticeship training, the mean the course of training if any industry or establishment undergoes in pursue a contractual apprenticeship under prescribed terms and conditions which may differ from a category of apprenticeship. It is differ for industry to industry and designated trade. So central government, all are there are the employees. So they are not full-time employees. The apprenticeships are there. See here, what is the objective of this Apprenticeship Act 1961? And this act to meet the rising need of potential craftsmen, giving experimental training to the employees who are specialized in their craft of primary aim to Apprenticeship Act. But candidates holding a diploma or engineering candidates can skill-wise benefit for this plan. So as per these announcements of government, central government, any industry or any area, the provisions of Act are applicable. It is assumed by means of the government to use that infrastructure, space, all are there. So like the scheme is also there. A scheme is applicable this Women Compensation Act 1923 and Apprenticeship Act are there to schedule this. Applicability, it's applicable to all the organizations. And see that they sometime these recent CSR at least the companies can at least recruit the employees. Three is Apprenticeship Act for minimum is uh, provided. I will show you the contract with apprenticeship and duties of apprentices to learn his trade concept is different and endeavors to qualify himself as a skilled craftsman before expire the periods. Either the student has to learn the skills before complete, right? So see that I will tell you about my own uh, college and course. So we offered one course is a BBA retail operations. The students are attending 3 days in the college. 3 days they're working in on-the-job training respective industry partners. Our students are working 3 days in industries like Starbucks, Reliance Trends, Spar, Maneuver, MedPlus, right? So they're attending 3 days. So they will get every month the stipend is 5,000 above and for 12 days. They learn the skills, how these industries work, how the fashion is changes, even the medical medplace also they give that training. And when the students are qualified the test, they will appoint at the store in charge for this right apprenticeship act. Even the government is also giving 1,500 rupees per month incentives to this industry under DTP direct transfer benefit scheme. Right. So responsibility of manpower and innovation of the contract is over. Apprenticeship or trainee are not the workers. So they are apprenticeships are not the workers, right? But apprenticeship have a right that they can get claim their payment and they can get a leave certain period. And also even these employees they providing PF also for the employees. And also they provide insurance for 2 lakhs rupees for our students. But some benefits are given to the same on par with regular employees and record and returns are there. The payment apprenticeship is employees shall be a very apprenticeship training period. The stipend is rate is paid specified by the contract and the scheme are there. So working hours, overtime leave holidays also applicable. So similar to regular employees, but they are trainee people. So these are this national council is there for apprenticeship act, national council, state council, and central appreciation council is there. All India Council. I will show you this how this work, and if anyone to do the job, they can also register under an app portal. So I will share the screen. Right. So this is the screen, Skill India, and see anyone have you seen the screen? Please, hello, 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 hello. Okay. So this is the portal. It's called NAP, National Apprenticeship uh, Programming Services. This portal will provide apprenticeship the candidates. So the candidate can be applied here. They can register through their login. They upload in the basic information like through PAN card. They registered, upload in 10th memo, and see that the basic bank details. And see they can search here. Apprenticeship boost your skills and employability there. These keys also, so what we talked about this Apprenticeship Act 1961. So these the Gazette of Notification is 961 is there. Like NAPS 2.0 guidelines are issued, and Apprenticeship Act is there. Now, whatever we talked about, rules based on the act, they amended the rules in 1992 after this LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization, and apprenticeship rules also there 2019. So, as a new government, the Modi government, they changed the rules providing more employment opportunities, and see that all the guidelines are mentioned here regarding this apprenticeship. So here see that as I will tell you, these authorities under National Apprenticeship Portal and role of agencies are there. And the state government, these National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, NAPS, promotion schemes and claim payment process and SOP for claiming verification of SSCs and clarification of reimbursement under NAPS portal. The government transfer the amount directly. So like those are required jobs. So these are these required present job in 10th class base. See that opportunity name is electronic mechanic, establishment name is the Central Electric Limited is there, the location here, the minimum qualification, and they will get stipend in between 6 to 10,000 per month, and the posted is 19 seconds ago. So if the candidate can apply here, and automotive tool room mechanic, HR executive also. See that BHBAHL Paper Mills Limited, and they require postgraduate PG candidate, and this much is there. Like we can see that in Hyderabad, for example, we want to search a job in location Hyderabad. Like we can select Hyderabad, and what kind of there are the courses are there, right? These are the opportunities are there. Just we can apply the codes, see that medical device, stents packing, primary packaging is there. Customer care executives are there, domestic wise. Customer care executive, just they can apply here. And if you take microfinance, Suresh, the organizations are there. Customer care executives are there, right? And peak house workers also there, like so, like n number of opportunities are there, telecom service executives are there. Or else, what we can do is in this apprenticeship portal, national promotion apprenticeship promotional scheme. Then you can also search your codes. What kind of job is required, right? So, like no, for example, we want to job in e-commerce and micro entrepreneur. Hyderabad, there is no job in this case. Or we can see that hardware engineering, or sales, or data like retail order, retail fulfill assessment. We can see that I will show you the retail sales executive. So here this Nimro, clothing industry is required. They are also ready to recruit you team leads, right? They are team leads. They also required candidate for suitable candidates. So lifestyle, right? In retail sector, we can see these these organizations can directly recruit these candidates. Okay? So this is the case. This Apprenticeship Act. So it is working under Skill India board, Skill India. And as I told you, direct benefit transfer scheme, the industries are transferring the amount, the government transfers the amount for the industries, those are providing this opportunity to candidates. See, these establishments are there. One 11,419 establishment TPA candidates are registered so far, ID card generated, and eKYC is verified, and these data bank DTBs transfer counters are there. So the government spending amount for this, uh, right? The candidate also, right? Any doubts here? So apprenticeship portal, this I show you DEET and NAPS also. So employment opportunities they provided through this. Now we move to our regular parts, right? And conducting the test, grant of certification, and conclusion of training period is over. They give. So offenses and penalties also the government can impose as per the Apprenticeship Act 1961 and amendment significates the changes are required. The government is changing the requirement, all these and conditions. Now we move to a very important topic is Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Before that, we could learn industrial orders, right? So unit number two, we covered two topics. That is the employment exchange. The second one is National Apprenticeship Act 1961. Now this unit, seventh unit, we have again two acts are there. Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946 and Industrial Dispute Act 1947. The two acts, right? So one is before independence, another one is the independent year, and two acts are there related to industrial laws, labor laws, related to labor laws. So here first we to understand this uh, industrial employment standing orders, why it is required, right? Why it is required. See that as you know, there are different kind of organizations are there. They have different kind of operations, different kind of procedures are there. Their processing is different, and the industry nature itself different. And see that some organizations are providing a different kind of rules and regulations. Other industries also follow different rules and regulations. There is no uniformity, and there is a problem for employer and employee. Then the Labour Committee in 1944 and 1946 was created that immediately spotted to take a cause of issue. There are lack of understanding on part of employees about employment conditions. This committee mentioned that the workers had right to know all terms and conditions related to their work and employment. So worker has a right. Here worker nothing but employee, not the employer. It's the employee. They need to know the job condition, job description, job profile. What is my job? What is my pay? What is my work hours? What kind of incentives are there? So it is a right. It's a right of this employee to know how what is the employer providing. Even wanted a distinct central law that made it obligatory for employers to frame and approve employment conditions and get them enforceable by law. So these enacted this for this Industrial Employment Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946, which list out laws governing the contract as devised duly signed and equivalent trained by these parties. So here you can see that interpretation of the terms as appellate authority. So appellate authority is industrial codes are there, industrial codes, and to have to implement industrial code shall be deemed to be appellate authority. Affiliate governments also there. The state, if this industry is state, the central state government, they can also intervene in this issue. State government also, and certifying officer. So means that a labor commission or regional labor commission and include any other officers appointed by the appropriate government by notification of the Gazette to perform all or any other functions of certifying officer also it is added here. And industrial establishments are clearly mentioned as per this railways definition, and Factories Act is also defined. These right standing audits. Why audits are required? As I told you, there are different kind of organizations have different kind of rules and regulations. Like pharma, uh, pharma, like sugar factory, chemical factory, sugar chemical factories are there, or shoe making companies also there, like automobile companies are there. So there are different companies, they have a different kind of rules and regulations are there. But the employees, no, there is uniformity required for knowing these rules and regulations. See that the rights liabilities of the employee workmen certain conditions remain term suspension, right? They have a right to know, say that salary, what we call salary, leave, promotion, bonus, and working hours, right? And also see that fringe benefits. So everything they need to know, and these are very common, right? All industries declared holiday Sunday. Why it is? It is standing order for all the establishment. They can declare holiday, but some organization they declare holiday for. See that in Hyderabad, there is 24 by 7. Hyderabad, some organizations are working. See the retail shops are working 365 days. There is no holiday. But earlier days, mm, they need to declare one holiday in a month, in a week. But later, this amendment, the rules are changed in the private sector. What they can do is, if they give the option for employees, they can go for a holiday either this Friday, Saturday, or Monday, or Tuesday, right? See that whatever the employees are there, they are divided. A few people are take Sundays, a few people are Mondays and Tuesday. But the industry, the establishment work 365 days and there is no break here. So that kind of amendments are happen nowadays. That kind of change is happening nowadays. And trade unions also there. I need to clear this, right? That is the reason the standing orders are required, right? The objective of this act. So this act is very clear. Objectives are there to enforce uniformity. So what is here? The uniformity is enforced. Uniformity enforced, right? The uniformity is enforced. Uniformity in the conditions of services under different employers, different establishments are there. Employer one have made the condition of employment known to his employed workers and can't be changed there uh, prejudice of the rights of interest. We with the expression or written conditions of employees, it is open for these prospective workers to accept them and join industrial establishments. So ultimately, it is uniformity for all. Right? Rules or regulations are uniformity, and there is no deviation for employer-employee. So it is applicable to all the industries and all the industries. Uh, all the industries are applicable here and the scope extends up to industries established where see that where 100 and more employees are working. So any organization's employees working 100 and more, and this act will be applicable. 100 and more. 80 minutes. See where 100 and more employees are working, and during last 12 months. So where any industry establishment, 100 and more workers workmen are employed or were employed or any day during preceding 12 months. So last 1 year, any day, if 100 more than 100 employees are working, and they need to come under this act, right? Or the government, appropriate government also may notify this, not less than 2 months notice. They can also say that the government they declared this organization has to follow these rules and regulations. So this is also there as per this act, and appropriate government, not less than the government may give this direction, like in the Bombay Industrial Act 1946, place any industries establishment which provides Madhya Pradesh industrial employment standing orders, like the standing orders issued to common guidelines for employees, their salary, wages, working hours, bonus, promotions, right? So submission of draft standing orders by employer to this certifying officer, he certify these rules are up to the mark as per act or not, they will verify. The conditions for certification of standing orders. So according to this act, section 4, standing order shall be certified of provision is made therein for every matter stated in Schedule Act, which is applicable to Industrial Establishments Act. The fairness or reasonableness for standing orders. Certification process are there, appeals also there, and date of operation registration. So they need to follow some kind of rules and regulations as per this act. So after this, we have a one more act. It is a very important act, Industrial Disputes Act 1947. Right? Why? Because employer and employee they will uh, they will disagree sometime. No, there is a issue of employer employee. The issue can be the issue can be either issue can be wages, issue can be working hours, issue can be holidays, issue can be promotion, issue can be rules and regulations, right? So, like there is a dispute between employer and employee, or what we call management to employees. There's issue between these two regarding these issues, right? And employer, what they can do, they go for lockout. What we can do is lockout, and the employees can go for this strike. Right? This will be affected for the production, and again, the management or what they can. No, we have seen so many issues in previous government Telangana. We have seen this big debate for almost 1 month, the RTC strike. The conflict between this management and regarding these salaries, right? Regarding the payment, or sometimes the promotion, sometimes are there. But first Industrial Disputes Act, you see that this period, the period the first enactment dealing with this settlement of Industrial Disputes Act was in 1860, Workmen Act, Workmen Disputes Act 1860. And then the act is amended. So like there is so many change happening, but 1948, and the government has take a separate act for this Industrial Disputes Act. So under they are giving some definitions, objective scope is there. So here appropriate government means the central government. Appropriate government means central government is there, right? Central government, appropriate government, central government in relation with industrial disputes concern any industry carry are under authority of central government. In industry carried by the railways, right, under central authorities, central UTI, Union of East India, corporations, central state, banking company, insurance companies, and mines all are under this act. Right? Award, nothing but is a means. Award means in interim or final determination of any industrial disputes, any question related to their own court, tribunal, or nation industry tribunal, and award nothing but give the judgments. Industries, any industry means business, trade, undertaking, manufacturing, or calling of employees for inclusive calling services like color-based services, employment, handicraft, industrial occupants are vocational workers. All are covered under this industry definition. So the disputes are section 2, subsection K. Here the definition is given difference opinion between employer and employee, right? The difference between employer and employee. Then the differences between employers and workers, employers and workers. Then the difference between workmen also. See, this is right. Workmen. Workmen is also there is a dispute for industrial disputes which is connected with this employment or non-employment of the terms and conditions are declared. So what we call employers, employer and workmen, the workmen and workmen. Like the first one is employers and employers, the management, what we can see that employees, the management within the management, see that there are different kind of opinions, management versus management, and see that there are some problem within this issue. What they can do is there is affected in industrial disputes, and majority of these industrial disputes are employer and workers, employers and workers. As I told earlier, these disputes can relate it to working hours, maternity benefits, promotion, wages, bonus, right? Working hours, like environment, industrial environment. There are n number of reasons are there for these disputes, right? Sometimes workmen also within these employee unions, they can fight. It's also affected in industrial disputes. The settlement means the settle arrived at the course of conciliation processing, conciliation proceedings, and includes a written agreement between this employer and workman arrived otherwise. Then, in the course of conciliation process, where such as agreement has been signed by the parties, they too, so this is the case, it's settlement process there. So wages also there, and public utility services, but they see that the public utility services are not allowed. Public railway services, air transportation services, carrying passenger goods or air, or any service connected to working any major project, major port or dock, so a telegraph, right? And government is also mentioned here. What are the public utilities are there? Utility services. Objectives and scope of this Act, Industrial Disputes Act 1947, it forged in 1st April 1947, aimed to protect workmen against victimization of the employees and whose ensure social justice to the both employee and employee. The unique objective of this act is to promote collective bargaining and to maintain a peaceful atmosphere in industries to avoiding illegal strikes and lockouts. Right? The very important thing is to avoiding illegal strikes and lockouts. Illegal strikes and lockouts both are to be avoided and maintain industrial peace. And is industrial peace is providing the production increases, both parties are very happy. So this is the major objective of this act, Industrial Disputes Act 1947. This act is also provide the regulations of layoff and retrenchment. It is also mentioned in this act, right? This is also mentioned in this act. The objective of Act, Industrial Disputes Act, is to secure industrial peace, harmony by providing machinery and procedure for the investigation and the settlement of industrial disputes by negotiation. So all are clearly mentioned the purpose and objective of this. So here and the industrial disputes authorities under this act, Act, what we call Industrial Disputes Act. Works committee is there. So works committee is also one of these important. Conciliation officer is appointed. The employees are more than 100 are there, and board of conciliation officers are there, and the court of inquiry, and labor tribunals, industrial tribunals, national tribunals are there. So these seven are higher authorities for redressal these industrial issues. So see that workmen, the works committee, in case of industrial establishment more than 100 workmen are employed in any organization working day on any working day prescribed last 12 months. So in last 12 months, any one particular day, if the workers are more than 100 and they need to appropriate, the government may require to employer to constitute a works committee. So employer has to constitute the works committee, right? It consists of equal number of representative, both employer and employees. Both, for example, if the company required 7 people, so they are committee members are three side, 3 members in worker, 3 members employees, and on cancellation of work committees engaged establishment works committee deal with workers' problem arising day-to-day industrial establishments. So works committee will focusing on issues related to day-by-day issues, right? So if the organization is employees are more than 100, any one particular day in preceding last 12 months, so they need to appoint, the management need to, and the government may require to employ to constitute a works committee. Then the conciliation officer, the appropriate government is empowered to appoint any number of persons as it think fit to be a conciliation officer as per section 19 as per act 1947 and act section 4. The conciliation officer have the duty to mediating the act and mediator to between the parties resolve these disputes. So in the case of public utility services like strikes or lockout, the conciliation officer can initiate the conciliation proceeding to tries to settle the disputes between these parties. So if any issues are there in between, he has to resolve the issue before going this conclusion, either the go for strike or lockout. So, in our case, has Indian strike mean bus strike means see, buses are stopped wherever there's no movement of bus. But as Japan see that they will go for strike. They will run the buses, but they won't collect this uh, ticket. So they are showing their showing their what we call showing their strike is other purposes, right? They're providing the passengers and the government see there is no bus stop. The bus are perfectly moving, but the thing is in strike period, the where the conductors are they are not collecting the tax tickets. But in India, what we can do is we'll stop this all transportations and there is no movement of vehicle. But there, Japan, see that Japanese are doing strike. They see that one more case is, for example, shoemaking company. So they want to go strike. What they can do is they will make one shoe the bulk number. Shoe required to write both pairs required. What they can do is they're manufacturing only one shoe, either right leg or left leg. They mention only one. They are showing their anger to the management like this. But it is different for country to country. But in India, what we can do is strike means there is no work, right? Lockout means the company will lock the factory and there is no worker will allowed in this factory. So like these situations, the cancellation officer may solve the conduct and cancellation proceeding can be issued to resolve the issue. So if the cancellation officer failed to resolve these disputes between the parties, he should report appropriate governments. If necessary, the dispute shall be referred to Board of Courts or tribunal or national or appropriate government. See, the cancellation officer has to settle. So if he is unable to settle, what they can is they can refer to this board of the board and labor courts. What is board? The board is more than one people of cancellation, right? The cancellation officer is single man. Now uh, the cancellation board for promoting the settlement of an industrial disputes. The appropriate government, as occasion arises, constitute a notification in the official gazette board of cancellation. A board shall consist of chairman or 2 or 4 other appropriate members as think it fits. as think it, right? The members are more than two or four, right? Chairman plus, if the chairman is one, two plus one plus two or one plus four, it shall be duty of board director to bring out the settlement of disputes for purpose, right? With this delay, the investigation of the other. Like if the board will also enlist reasons as account which in its opinion they can mention if the problem is not solved, then they suggest the appropriate government to appoint court of inquiry. In the occasion arises, the government can initiate the court of inquiry. This court of inquiry was to find out the matters concerned with are relevant to the industrial dispute, where a court consists of two or four members. One shall be appointed as the chairman. The court of inquiry look into the matter, look into this only the matter where referred by the government and submit report to the government ordinarily with appropriate within this 6 months. Then you submit the report to segment. So then one more settlement process, the court, labor court. So the labor court appropriate is empowered to constitute one or more labor court to adjudication of industrial disputes related to any other matters. Right. So here I will stop the up to labor court. Tomorrow we'll continue this remaining parts. Why? Because you need to attend one more class, right? Any doubt here? Any doubts? Hello? 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 Any doubts so far? Right. So I will summarize today's what we discussed so far. So today we discuss there are three acts, there are four acts, right? The first one is Employment Exchange Act, and then we talked about Apprenticeship Act 1961. Then we talked about what we call uh, industrial common orders, like standing orders is also there. Industry employment standing orders are there. Now we are in the chapter of Industrial Disputes Act 1947, ID Act 1947, under authorities, applied authorities are we are going to discuss now. So, any doubt here? Can I stop? Please respond, anyone. Rajkishan Garu, Mehboob, hello. Am I clear? Can I stop here? Please respond. Any doubts? Okay, I will stop here and tomorrow we'll continue as 11:30 same.